Hello, future criminologist. It's Sam here again, and I know it has been a very long time since I made my last video, and that is because I have been very busy for the past weeks. So I sincerely apologize for the delay. And for those who are new here, my name is Samsara Azaria, and I am a registered criminologist and a certified question document examiner. For today's video, we are going to learn about the handwriting characteristics in question document examination. So first off is we have the arc. So as per definition, it is the bend, crook, or curve on the inner side or any arcade form in the body of the letters, such as C, H, M, N, and etc. So para mas klaro no, when we say arc, mo ni siya ang part sa ato ang letters nga paarka og porma. So regardless kung asa na siya dapita makita, as long as naa siya'y arka, so kani nga part here na ay arka, that is what we call the arc. Now take note, the arc has another name. Some examiners, or let's say authors, also call the arc as arch. Pero para mas dali sabtan, it is any arcade form maskin unsa nga part sa atong letters nga arka og porma. Now here, sa letter C, this actually refers to here, kanisiya, kaninga part. Okay, just to clarify things. Now, moving forward, we have the beard. So this refers to the rudimentary curves in the initial strokes. When we say rudimentary, it is there for design purposes. So muni siya ang klase sa kurbada sa atong initial nga stroke, pinakauna nga stroke, na it's not necessary but it is there for, let's say, embellishment purposes, for aesthetic purposes. So, ang beard mao ni siyang dapitan. Now, take note, naapoy usa ka part nga initial, ay let's say, naapoy lain nga initial stroke nga gitawag nato og hitch. Now, if it's just a line meaning straight, mo ni siya tong gitawag nga hitch. Pero kung kurbada siya, gitawag na nato siya nga beard. Now here we have the initial stroke and terminal stroke. When we say initial stroke, muna siya ang pinakauna nga agi sa imuhang ballpen, and the terminal stroke muna siya ang pinakalas nga agi sa imuhang ballpen. Now for example, this one here, this is the letter L. So since this is the very first stroke of my handwriting or sa ako ang writing instrument, then we call that one as the initial stroke. And since this is the last stroke of my handwriting instrument, then that is the terminal stroke. Now, ma'am, what if ingon ani ang pirma? Lain-lain og series nga stroke. So of course, since we have three different initial and terminal strokes, so we will identify that as three series of strokes. So this is going to be the first stroke, ending to the second stroke, then, or let's just say ending on the second terminals, the first terminal stroke, and then here we have the second initial stroke ending in the second terminal stroke. But take note, kani sila kung mag-identify na ta sa handwriting characteristics when we examine documents, we should say, let's say this one is number 1, this is number 2, this is 3, this is 4, 5, and 6. So we say there are three series of strokes. So the first set or first series of strokes starts from point 1 ending in point 2. The second series of stroke starts from the point 3 ending in point 4. And the third series of stroke starts from the point 5 to point 6. Okay? Now, speaking of initial and terminal stroke, na po tayo gitawag nga blunt beginning and blunt ending. Sakto ba ng spelling sa beginning? Okay, blunt ending. So, can you see blunt? It is characterized by a point or period or knob forming in the very first stroke. So if there's an accumulation of the ink in the initial stroke, we call that the blunt beginning. But if the accumulation of the ink or kaning period or dot nga makita nato is at the end of our stroke, we call that the blunt ending. Now, if linya lang siya, like this one, and we want to be precise, so if it's in the initial stroke, we call that the flourishing start or the flourishing stroke. Meaning, gikan sa nipis padung sa baga. Now, if it's in the end, and then gikan siya sa baga padung mo nipis, we call that the vanishing stroke or the vanishing ending stroke. Okay? And another name for that, for those, for the flourishing start, we call that the flying start and the flying finish. Now, this is very important when we examine documents or let's say handwritings, because if there is a blunt in the initial stroke, it can be an indication of hesitation or it can be an indication of forgery. Nga naman, because when we execute our signature, mag-start dyan na siya sa flourishing. Meaning, gikan sa nipis paingon mo baga. So therefore, kung naay tuldok sa pinakauna, it can be a sign nga nagduha-duha ang writer sa pag-execute sa ilahang pirma. And here, okay, I think we have already discussed this one. Here we have the blunt ending or blunt beginning. And next we have the downward, upward, and lateral strokes. So when we say downward, of course, stroke na paubos. And then if we relate that to the muscles involved in our handwriting, when we execute the downward stroke, that is our flexor muscle at work, okay? And when we execute the downward stroke, or let's say the upward stroke, that is our extensor muscle at work. And if we form lateral stroke, meaning padung siya mo purma og loop, magtuyok siya, it is our lumbrical muscle at work. Okay? Now, moving forward, we also have the buckle knot. So, from the word buckle, so you have to picture out the word nga, bakus. Okay, bakus man siya, of course, makita na siya sa center sa ato ang letters. Same with the way that where we put our buckles or ang ato ang belts. Now, gitawag siya og knot because it forms like a knot. It forms like a ribbon. So this is a horizontal and looped strokes nga makita or ato ang gigamit to complete certain letters. And this is usually seen in the middle of our letters. Okay. Now here, I would just like to raise. If you see that it's just a straight line, it's not forming a knot, we call that the diacritic. We use the diacritic as a symbol or let's say a stroke that we use to complete certain letters as well. Ang kalahian nila, a diacritic can refer to a line or it can refer to a horizontal stroke, it can refer to a vertical stroke, or it can refer to a dot or a point. The buckle knot, on the other hand, only refers to a knot found in the middle of our letters. Next, we have the central part of the letter or the body of the letter. So this is the part of a letter that is ordinarily formed by a small circle. And this usually lies on the line of writing as the bodies of A, B, D, G, O, and P. So from the word central part of the body of the letter, makita na nato siya usually sa mga small letters. And this is formed by the small circle. So let's say, for example, this is the letter A. So the central part of the letter A is found here. And this one here is the staff. Okay, now here we have the eye loop or the eyelet. So these are the small or big loops. Ako lang ibutad diri. These are the small or big loops nga mapurma sa usa ka letter. So let's say for example, we want to execute the letter H. So kani siya, this is what we call the loop. So if it's big, we call that the eye loop or the loop. But if it's small, like the ones found in letter E, letter A, and also letter B, kanisha is the loop, and this one here is the eyelet. So just take note if it's a small or big circle refers to the eye loop and small circles refers to the eyelet. Now here we have the foot of the letter or oval. Now I know there are two names there, but in my understanding, if it's just straight like this, letter L, letter M, and letter H, straight lang siya, we call that the foot. However, if pakurbada siya, like this one, we call those the oval. Pero para mas dali sabton, the foot or the oval are the portion of our letters or the parts of our letters that is found in the lower part, and these are the parts of our letters that rest upon the baseline. So muni sila ang mupahuway, mubarog sa baseline sa atuang writing material. Next, we have the diacritic. So as what I have stated, the diacritic is an element or a part of our letter that is added to complete certain letters. So let's say, for example, if I just put this one, you will be confused as to what letter that is. It could be letter L, it could be letter I. However, if I put a dot here, then that is very specific. That is the letter I. However, if I change the diacritic there and put a dash here, then that is the letter T. So once again, a diacritic is very important because it is used to complete certain letters. And this is also important in handwriting identification because there are some people nga ilang diacritic sa letter I is the I dot, but some would put the dash. Like for example, me, dash ang diacritic sa letter I. Next, we also have the hitch or tick. So as what I have stated, see hitch or tick and the beard almost looks the same. Now, once again, the beard is the rudimentary initial curve. So if it's kurbada, then that is the beard. However, if it's just straight, then that is the hitch or the tick. But it is found in the introductory backward stroke added to the beginning of many capital letters. So makita jud na siya sa first part sa atoang capital letters. Next, we have the hook or trough. So it is the bend, crook, or curved in the inner side of the bottom loop or the curve of small letters. So let's say, for example, this is the letter A, this is the letter C, or it could be the letter F. If dili gani sobra ka arka ang iyahang forma, we call that the hook or trough. So here, this is the arc, this is the hook, this is the arc, this is the hook, this is the hook. So, if it's in an arcade form, we call that the arc. Pero kung kurbada ra siya, we call that the hook or shaft. Next, we have the hump. So the hump is the rounded outside of the bend, crook, or curve in small letters, or yes, small letters actually. So let's say, for example, this is the letter H. If we are looking in the inner side, then that is what we call the arc. But if it's in the outer side, then that is the hump. Another example, this is the letter M. So here we have two arcs and we have two humps. Next, we have the initial spur and the terminal spur, also known as the space filler. So when we say spur, these are the long rising stroke of a letter or ending stroke of a letter. Rising, that refers to the initial spur. In the ending, that refers to the space filler or the terminal spur. Basically, usara ni siya ka klase sa stroke na taas kaayo pero dili siya necessary sa usa ka letter. So let's say for example, the word is ending. If you're going to write the letter E, then that is easy, no? You don't have to add a longer stroke. But some people would prefer it that way. So, kung taas na siya nga stroke nga pinakauna, we call that the initial spur. As long as it's the very first stroke and then there's a rudimentary rising initial stroke, then we call that the initial spur. Pero kung ang kaning long long stroke makita sa end sa atuang letter, we call that the space filler or the terminal spur. Next, we have the knob. So ang kaning knob, it is also known as the blunt. So kung period or let's say na siya tuldok nga characteristic, we call that the knob or the blunt. Next, we have the main stroke or shank stem. So, muna siya ang downward stroke sa mas kinunsa nga klase sa letter in which ang smaller portion or ang body sa ato ang letter didto ni rest or ni cling. So, let's say for example, this is the small letter A. So, if this is the body, then this is the main stroke or shank stem. This is the big letter B. So this is here the two bodies and this is the main stroke or shank stem. Another small letter B. This is the main stroke and this is the body. Maskin asa nga part, so when we say main stroke or shank stem, maskin asa nga part sa ato ang letter nga kung asa nagrest or nagkupot ang ato ang body sa letter. Next, we have the staff. This is the backspace or back portion of the letter. So let's say, for example, I will write the word here, staff. So, kani nga part diri, this one, this one, this one, backspace portion of every letter, we call that the staff. Next, we have the whirl. So this refers to the upward strokes usually found on letters that have long loops. So for example, this is the letter L, letter B, letter H. So ang kadtong part sa atong letter nga padung mo porma og loop gitawag na nato og whirl. So kani siya nga part. Next, we have the ductus link or the junction link. So this is the type of stroke that connects one letter to another. Now, speaking of letters of connection or forms of connection, we have four types. So first off is we have the arcade form. Ngon ani nga porma sa pag-connect sa letters. We have the garland form. We have the angular form, and we have the red light. If you are interested about knowing more of these letters of connections or forms of connections, you can watch my other videos. And next, we have the ductus broken or junction broken. This is usually found sa mga handwritings nga binuldi. So from the word broken, it means na ay space between sa duha ka letters. And lastly, we have the axis or the slant. So this refers to the specific slanting of our letter. So this one here is slanted to the right. This one here is slanted to the left. And this one here is vertical slant. Hopefully, you have gained some insights from this video. I will see you all next time. And if you want me to discuss some topics here, don't hesitate to comment down. And whenever I have the free time, I will definitely look it up and make videos about it. So I will see you all next time. Goodbye and thank you. See you soon, future criminologists.